What gives governments their power? Do we surrender our freedoms for security, or do we empower our leaders to protect our inherent rights? These questions have echoed through history, stirring philosophers and shaping civilizations, but who definitively answered these queries and became known as the father of liberalism? Enter John Locke, the eminent English Enlightenment philosopher whose ideas laid the groundwork for modern democracy and individual liberties. Welcome back to the channel. Today we dive into the intellectual depths of John Locke and his social contract theory. Before we begin, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an upload. Let's get started. Who was John Locke? Born on August 29, 1632, in the bustling city of Somerset, England, John Locke's life was a tapestry of contributions to philosophy and political theory. His impact was so profound that he earned the title of the father of liberalism. But Locke wasn't just a thinker, he was a physician who played a role in the English Civil War, though without ever taking up arms. It was during this tumultuous period that he began to craft his ideas about government and individual rights. Following the restoration of the monarchy in 1660, he went into exile for his opposition to the policies of King Charles II. During his exile, he wrote his famous work, Two Treatises of Government, which presented his theory of the social contract. After his return to England, he continued to write extensively, including his monumental work, An Essay Concerning Human Understanding, which had a profound impact on the field of epistemiology. Locke died on October 28, 1704, leaving behind a legacy that continues to shape our understanding of government and individual rights. The state of nature. Now, let's delve deeper into Locke's social contract theory. At the heart of this theory lies the concept of the state of nature. What did Locke envision as the state of nature? Contrary to Thomas Hobbes' portrayal of a chaotic war of all against all, Locke saw it as a state of perfect freedom and equality. In this state, individuals are governed by the law of nature, which dictates that people should not harm one another. But how does one ensure the protection of these rights in the state of nature? Locke argued that in such a state, individuals are perfectly free to do whatever they want, as long as they don't infringe upon the rights of others. However, this freedom comes with limitations. Since there isn't a common judge to settle disputes, the law of nature can't always be enforced, leading to potential chaos and bias. Natural rights. Central to Locke's thinking are the concepts of natural rights. According to Locke, these rights are inherent to humans by virtue of their birth. They are given by nature or a higher power and cannot be taken away by any earthly authority. In his writings, Locke identified three fundamental natural rights: life, liberty, and property. Let's break down each of these rights. Life. This right implies the right to live and not be unjustly killed or deprived of one's life. Liberty. This involves the right to make choices regarding one's own actions and pursuits without undue interference from others. Property. This encompasses the right to own and manage possessions, including both tangible items and intangible assets. It also includes the right to acquire property through one's own efforts. Importantly, these rights are universal, meaning they apply to all humans, regardless of background or belief. Additionally, they are inalienable, which means that they cannot be surrendered or transferred away. This is a crucial aspect of Locke's philosophy, emphasizing that no individual or institution has the right to infringe upon these inherent rights. The problem with the state of nature. While Locke acknowledged that the state of nature provided a theoretical foundation for individual rights, he also recognized its limitations. In his view, despite the existence of natural rights in this state, there were significant inconveniences that hindered their full realization. So what were these problems? Firstly, disputes over the application of the law of nature could arise. As Locke stated, there would be no such thing as justice without a common power to protect the right of all in common, as the law of nature requires. This meant that without a mechanism to fairly adjudicate and enforce the law, conflicts could escalate into violence or be left unresolved. Secondly, the absence of a governing body to protect individuals from external threats or enforce contracts created a climate of uncertainty. This could discourage trade and economic activity and expose individuals to arbitrary violence. Therefore, while the state of nature offered a theoretical ideal of freedom, Locke argued that it was practically flawed. Forming government. So how did Locke propose overcoming these challenges? The solution lay in the formation of a government. But what would this government look like? According to Locke, the establishment of government involved a social contract among individuals. This contract stipulated that each person would give up some of their natural freedom in exchange for the protection of their remaining rights. In other words, individuals voluntarily agreed to be governed, thereby creating a society. However, it's important to note that the government arising from this contract wasn't absolute. Locke advocated for a limited government whose powers were clearly defined and restricted. Its primary purpose was the protection of the natural rights of its citizens. Moreover, this government derived its legitimacy solely from the consent of the people. This concept, known as the consent of the governed, became a cornerstone of democratic theory, emphasizing that the power of government was not bestowed upon it arbitrarily, but was granted by the people it governed. Relevance and impact. The significance of Locke's social contract theory cannot be overstated. His ideas reverberated throughout history, influencing numerous revolutions and shaping modern democracies. One of the most direct impacts of Locke's philosophy was on the American Revolution. The founders of the United States, deeply influenced by Locke's ideas, enshrined the concepts of natural rights and the social contract in the United States Declaration of Independence. In the document, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is championed, echoing Locke's emphasis on individual rights. Furthermore, the idea of a limited government with clearly defined powers, as outlined by Locke, became the bedrock of constitutionalism in the United States. The U.S. Constitution, with its separation of powers among the executive, legislative, and judicial branches, exemplifies this principle. This framework ensures that no single branch of government becomes too powerful, thus safeguarding the liberties of the people. Moreover, Locke's theories had a profound impact on the development of human rights discourse globally. His ideas inspired the French Revolution and contributed to the growth of liberalism as a political philosophy. In conclusion, John Locke's social contract theory stands as a monumental contribution to political philosophy. His ideas on the state of nature, natural rights, and the social contract not only shape the course of history, but continue to resonate in modern democracies. By positing that governments derive their legitimacy from protecting our inherent natural rights, Locke established a powerful framework for liberty and democratic governance. His legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of those who champion individual rights and democratic values. Now it's time for your voice to be heard. What do you think? Which natural right do you value most? And what responsibilities do we have to uphold them in society? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Your voice matters. If you found this exploration of Locke's social contract theory insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with those who might find value in this knowledge. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications, so you never miss out on our thought-provoking content. We've got a lot of videos coming your way, including other political philosophy series and more. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the great minds that have shaped our world. Keep thinking, keep questioning, and we'll see you in the next video.